What's up, ladies and gents, Ghost here, and today I've got a quick overview of Metro 2014, which is the new name that DICE have dubbed all of the maps with in Second Assault, just so you guys don't get confused out there with BF3. So straight away here you can see that we've actually got a couple of jet skis plonked in the river, so you can hop on those now in rush mode. You can probably zoom straight up and get an early plant on the MCOM. It's also going to be a total pain in the arse for any snipers who decide that they're going to try their hand at camping when they spawn in the defending position. Now, here you can see I'm having a quick glance at a newspaper, and if you look closely at the main headline, it says something there in French about EA and DICE. So I decided to go ahead and run this through a translator, as I was pretty sure that this was a little Easter egg that, as far as I know, nobody's really found yet. And it roughly translates to EA and DICE Best Game Studio since 1997, which is a bit of a controversial topic, I suppose, at the moment, given the current state of BF4, so I'm probably just not going to express myself about that. But that said, maybe I'm wrong, maybe that's not exactly how it's supposed to be translated, so if there's any French-speaking people watching, let me know in the comments section down below exactly what that says. Now here you can see we've got a couple of explosive barrels, and you're also going to notice that Metro is completely overrun with flora and shrubbery, grass, you name it, and if you shoot those explosive barrels, it will set it on fire, and it will actually cause a pretty large cloud of smoke. I'm pretty sure DICE deliberately implemented this in order to give cover. You will notice that that is actually the location just behind those corrugated pieces of iron there of one of the MCOMs on rush mode, and now the entire sort of piece of pavement there is covered with a thick blanket of smoke, so any of the attacking team who are running up are going to have cover from enemy snipers. I think DICE have really realised that sniping as the defenders was one of the most annoying things on this map. There are so many little rocks and places that you could hide behind as the defending team. You would just spawn in, get behind a rock, and you could start sniping the attacking team straight away. I think DICE realised that that was a problem in BF3. They're now trying to rectify this via the smoke that they've put in place here, and also via the jet skis that we saw earlier on. So here's another little change I found over close to the other MCOM. I think this is B MCOM if I'm not mistaken. This bridge is now partly destroyed. In Battlefield 3 it was completely whole, and people would usually throw down ammo kits and med kits underneath there, and it was a nice little hidey hole. And now you're not really going to be able to hide under there as easy anymore. I can really imagine planting the MCOM and lobbing a couple of grenades down there to take care of any campers. So here we are down in Conquest mode, and we just entered the Metro, and as you can see things have gotten a little bit wet, so I suppose some pipelines there you can see some pipelines have started leaking. I suppose that's the cause of all the water. Now this is one change that they made. There are no plyboard pieces of wood here. This whole area used to be blocked off by plyboard. You have to shoot through it or destroy it with an explosive. It was a popular area for snipers, so I think DICE are really cracking down hard on the snipers these days. Now, these pipes can be shot, and as you can see, a lot of steam ends up coming out of there. And this particular corridor in BF3 was like the epitome of Operation Clusterfuck. This was crammed with people all the time, so I suppose they've implemented that in order to provide a little bit of cover there. Now this is one of the new Levolution elements within Metro. You're going to find a lot of these support beams holding up various parts of the roof, and if you knock those down the roof comes caving in. But beware, because this will hurt you or kill you. There's like an initial rubble drop, and then there are several more afterwards, so it's a gradual sort of thing. It's not just where you take out the support beam and the whole roof comes down. So it's going to stop people from getting in there, and once again, a lot of smoke and debris. Here you can see this is another MCOM location if you were to be playing Rush, and the entire room is just filled with dust and debris there, so that's going to cause quite a lot of mayhem and havoc in there. More of these over here. You're going to find these dotted throughout the entirety of Metro, at least for the underground sections. I would say in total there's probably around 10 to 15 of these rubble drop locations. I really think these rubble drops by DICE are quite a good idea. For such a small scale map, I don't think a huge Levolution event would be optimal really. These little rubble drops do give some nice Levolution. As you can see there, a massive rubble drop. The roof has just completely caved in. There are beams of light coming through, so we've actually caved in the entire roof there. You can see up to the sky, and we've got some nice, bit of sunlight there. You can get a little bit of a tan there if you feel like it, if you've been too long in the dark down in Metro. Alright, now this is when we start to get to some of the tactics and strategies. They've actually implemented a few more flanking routes for Metro. So previously you only had the 2 sets of escalators, you had the stairs over on the right that I was just looking at, but now you can see they've opened up a new room and you can actually take these elevators up to the 2nd floor. So instead of going the escalators, you can go in the elevators, which are accompanied by some awesome lift music, which I really thought was lacking in a lot of the elevators in this game. So kudos to you, DICE. So here we are back downstairs, and this is the 2nd set of elevators that goes up to where the B flag in Conquest is. But if you look over to the left there, there's actually another little flanking route. There's also a switch there that says lights on off, so you can actually turn out the lights completely. I think DICE are probably trying to open up the possibility of using infrared night vision scopes and that sort of thing. And you can see it leads right next to where one of the MCOMs is in rush mode. So that little window there to the left, you jump in there, there's an MCOM there. So that's definitely going to be a useful flanking route. Now, just to the right of that room, so essentially right around the corner, well, we'll just take out debris first because, why not? It's fun, right? There's another flanking route here, which wasn't in Battlefield 3. So they're really opening up the number of possibilities and trying to make it a little bit less clusterfucky and a little bit more strategical, which is still hard to do. If you've played it on 2nd Assault, you will know that this map is still absolutely insane, especially on 64 players, but I really like the effort here by DICE. So here, as we venture outside going towards C flag, I believe it is, you can see that we didn't really leave things in very good standing in Battlefield 3, did we? There's buildings on fire, there's rubble and dust everywhere. All the shops have shut down. Obviously, those guys just didn't want to sell croissants anymore with us fighting around them. So, I feel bad for all the bakers in France at the moment. So for the most part, the building layout has remained the same as it was in Battlefield 3, so you'll be familiar with all your little windows and doorways. You're going to see a nice little change coming up here though as we approach the final set of MCOMs. There is not this huge mound of rubble, so you can just storm straight up there. You don't have to go to the staircase to the left or to the right, which is a great change. Often in Battlefield 3, if you would be getting spawn camped, there will be snipers in all of the windows and people up where those railings are, and you just could not get a foothold on the map. So as you can see, the theme of utter destruction continues throughout here. That bus has pretty much had it, as has the entire building. I think it was a bank, wasn't it, that building? It looks like it's been under construction, but I suppose since we came back and started causing even more destruction, the workers have most likely decided that, sod this, I'm not going to die, so they've gone home and put their feet up to have a crepe and a cup of tea. So, yeah guys, that's about going to do it for this one. I think I pretty much covered everything. I searched the level pretty hard and tried to find as much as I possibly could. So if you guys have found anything that I've missed in the video, then by all means let me know in the comment section down below so that everyone can find out about that. I will be covering the other 3 maps as well, guys, so as soon as I get time, those will be coming out very soon. Stay tuned for that. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.